Welcome to the lecture on cost output relationship. Basically, we are going to learn the cost output relationship in the short run. In the short run, fixed factor of production, such as plant size, machinery, or factor space, that remains constant, while other factors like labor and raw materials can be changed. If a company wants to produce greater output, it can do by employing more units of variable factors or by having additional shift. The cost of a firm in the short run are divided into fixed cost and variable cost. Because of this, the relationship between cost and output has distinct patterns. Okay. Now there are two types of cost involved while producing the product. One is fixed cost and other is a variable cost. Fixed costs are the costs that are incurred on fixed factors like land, buildings, and equipments. Fixed cost in the short run remains constant because the firm does not change the size of the plant and the amount of the fixed factors employed. Okay, in the short run, the suppose maybe for a 1 year or 2 years, no, it is not possible to change the fixed factors. So for the short run, the fixed factors remains constant. These constants are to be incurred by the firm even if the output is zero. Actually, even when nothing is produced, but still we have the fixed factor inputs like land, machinery, and the building. Everything is there. No, that's why the fixed cost is always have some value. It will not be zero. Fixed costs are also called supplementary costs. They include items such as contractual rent payment, interest on capital borrowed, insurance premiums, and depreciation. These are the fixed costs. Now, what is variable cost? These costs are corresponding to the variable factors used in the further production. These costs are incurred on the raw material, ordinary labor, transport, power, fuel, etc. This can be treated as no, it is directly vary in the short run. Variable cost directly and proportionately increase because of the level, due to the level of the output. The variable factor, the cost, no, it increases due to the increase in output, or it decreases due to the with the level of output. So the production cost consists of both fixed as well as variable cost. Now we will learn the cost output relationship and the nature and the behavior of cost curves in the short run. In order to study the relationship, we have to prepare the cost schedule. Now you may think that what is a cost schedule? It is a statement of variation in cost resulting from the variation in the levels of output. Now, suppose if the level of output is increased or decreased, what is the effect on the cost? That is denoted by the cost schedule. It shows the significance of the cost to change the changes in the output. Okay. Now we will see the following table. See now, you have the output in units. No, the first column is the output in units. Now we have the total cost in rupees, then the average cost in rupees, and the marginal cost. Suppose the total cost. Now total cost is 150, 190. It is increasing as per the level of the output. If suppose if you take the level of output, the output in 5 units, the total cost is 270 and the average cost is 54 and the marginal cost is 34. I will describe in detail, in the total cost and what is it mean, what is it total cost, average cost, and marginal cost in the following slides. In the okay, now See now we will see what is see now first column we are seeing the output in unit, that is the total fixed. Second column is total fixed cost, and third is the total variable cost, then total cost, average fixed cost, average variable cost, average cost, and marginal cost. Now, from this table, we can see, as I have already mentioned, the total fixed cost is remains constant, irrespective of the level of the output produced. If nothing is produced, still we will have the total fixed cost will have some value that remains constant. The fixed constant do not change with the output. We can say, for example, the rent given for the building, the insurance given, the depreciation of the machinery, that will not change. And then the total fixed cost that remains constant whether the output is zero or high. Now we will see the total variable cost. Now I have to show the graph also. This is the fixed cost curve. See, from the figure we can see, based on the see x-axis will be is shown as the output produced, and the y-axis is the cost of production. But irrespective of the output, the total fixed cost is remains the same, that is the 360. Now we will see total variable cost. Total variable cost changes with the level of output. Examples, we can say wages of the hourly workers, raw material, electricity used in the production, that keeps on changing. It may increase or decrease based on the level of output produced. The total variable cost increases as output increases. From here we can say, from this figure we can say, this is the total variable cost. Now I can show you the graph of variable cost. This is the variable cost curve. It starts from zero. When the level of output is zero, then the cost is zero. Then it starts increasing, and from in the initial period, the variable cost is increasing at a faster rate, but later on it increases in a small proportion. Okay, now we will see what is the total cost. See, this is the total cost. It is the addition of total fixed cost and total variable cost. That is total cost is equal to fixed cost plus variable cost. And here we can see, from TFC, the total fixed cost is constant. Changes in the total cost, it is driven by the changes in the total variable cost. Here, whatever it is the total output, what are the variations taking place in the total cost is purely dependent on the variable cost, not on the fixed cost. Okay, now we will see what is the average fixed cost and average variable cost. Average fixed cost is equal to total fixed cost divided by the number of units. Here average fixed cost is for the unit of output 1 is equal to 360 by 1, that is 360. For two units of production, the average fixed cost is 180. 4 units of production, the average fixed cost is 78.75. That means that total fixed cost divided by the number of units. Okay, now we will see average fixed cost and average variable cost. Average fixed cost decreases continuously as output increases because fixed costs are spread over more units. Then average variable cost usually falls initially and then it tends to increase. Average variable cost is a variable cost per unit of output, and it is calculated as average variable cost is equal to total variable cost divided by the number of units produced. Okay, now we can see some important insights into the average variable cost. This average variable cost, it is we can say uh, see, this is the average fixed cost. Average fixed cost means initially the average fixed cost is, see, when the unit of output is low, but the fixed cost was high. So, but as soon as the quantity, number of quantity of output increases, the average fixed cost tends to reduce. Okay, but it never touches the x-axis. Now we can see the average variable cost. See, there are three regions. No, it has three phases. One downward slope, then at point B at constant, and again it is in the upward slope. Okay, now decreasing phase. We can see decreasing phase is A to B. A average variable cost falls as output increases. Okay, because adding here in this figure, it is a short run and fixed factor inputs are constant, and but because we are adding more variable inputs to the fixed inputs, which increases the efficiency and leads to increasing returns. Okay, and this is the initial phase. That's why the average variable cost, that is unit cost, is decreasing. Okay, now at this point B, that is at point B, the average variable cost reaches its lowest point when the combination of fixed and variable factors is optimal and the firm operates at full capacity. Now, from here to here, the average variable cost, from A to B, the average variable cost is decreasing because we are adding more variable factor inputs to the fixed factors. But at this point B, the average variable cost is very minimal, where the optimal use of fixed factors as well as the variable factors are being used. Then from B to C, the average variable cost, it is tend to increase, it is rises as the output expands beyond normal capacity. Due to the diminishing returns, the additional variable input produce less proportionate output. That's why which increases the cost per unit. In short, we can say, to sum up, uh, average variable cost decreases during increasing returns, reaches a minimum at optimal production, and increases when diminishing returns set in. Now we can see the average total cost. This is the average variable cost. Then we have seen the average fixed cost, then the average variable cost. Now the average total cost. Average total cost, it is a sum of average fixed cost plus average variable cost. Okay. Now here we can see this is also a U-shaped curve because it combines both the average fixed cost and average variable cost. Average cost, it is also known as the unit cost because it is the cost per unit of output produced. AC, it is the sum of average fixed cost plus average variable cost. Okay, now the average total cost or average cost is obtained by dividing the total cost by the total output produced. In the short run, the average cost curve also tends to be, it's a U-shaped curve. The combined influence of average fixed cost and average variable cost curve will shape the behavior of this AC curve. Now the last one is what is marginal curve, marginal cost curve. Marginal cost can be defined as the net addition to the total cost as one more unit of output is produced. In other words, we can say the additional cost incurred to produce an additional unit. For example, suppose if it costs 100 rupees to produce 500 units of a commodity, we have taken suppose we can say 50 pence. For 50 pence, the cost is 100 rupees. Okay. Now, 105 rupees is used. It is addition required to produce the 50 first units. Then the MC, the marginal cost would be rupees 5. That is the additional cost incurred to produce the additional unit. It is obtained by calculating the change in total cost as a result of a change in total output. Also, MC is the rate at which the total cost changes with the output. So I can show you with the table diagram. Sorry, I have to go back to the previous slide. See, here is the marginal cost. Marginal cost is equal to, see, the total cost is equal to 300. Here it is 360, and so starts with the 0. Then next unit, no, this 360 to the 540, the difference is 180. Then 540 to 600, actually it is the additional cost incurred, it is to the total cost, okay, when one extra unit is produced. Here 540 to 600, that difference is 60. Then 600 to 630, it is 30. Then 630 to 675, it is 45, like that. This is the marginal cost. Okay, now average cost is a summation of average fixed cost and average variable cost. But average fixed cost is equal to total fixed cost divided by the number of units produced. Okay, now we have seen the marginal cost. Now we will see one more diagram, that is the marginal relationship between the average cost and marginal cost. Okay, from here we can say the marginal cost curve and average cost curve. In the initial period, when average cost is falling, MC also falls. Marginal cost is falls. Later, MC starts rising, but while AC is still continue to fall only. Here in this case, no, when AC is falling, but the marginal cost is coming down, but it is rising also. But in both the cases, still the MC is below the AC curve. Then, as long as AC is decreasing, MC is less than AC and lies below it. Marginal cost reaches its minimum value before AC reaches its minimum. Okay, when marginal cost intersects the AC average cost and then rises above it, AC starts to increasing in this stage. Then marginal cost is greater than AC. Marginal cost is greater than the average cost. As long as average cost is rising, marginal cost remains above average cost, showing that marginal cost increases faster than average cost. So to sum up, we can say in the short run, cost output relationship is mainly influenced by the presence of fixed factors and the law of variable proportions. Initially, the costs rise slowly as output expands due to the increasing efficiency, but beyond a certain level, costs rise more rapidly because of the diminishing returns. This creates the characteristics of a U-shaped short-run cost curve. Thank you so much.